Okay, my country is Germany. Yeah, geography. So overall, it's pretty diverse. It's a pretty diverse, mountainy, not mountainy, and stuff. It borders 9 other countries, including Poland. It has a lot of rivers. Its highest point, I'm sorry for butchering this, and I'm going to butcher a lot of words, is Zugspitze, and its lowest point is Nevendorf bei Wilster. And now we're on to northern geography. It's a large flat plain, part of the North European plain. It borders the North Sea and the Baltic Sea. It has the largest lake of Germany. Largest German lake, I guess. It has a lot of river valleys and a lot of plateau. It has the Itzars mountain. That's just southern Germany. It has the Bavarian Alps, greater parts of the European Alprise in the south. There's rolling hills, plateaus, and glacial valleys. On to famous people. Let's talk about Albert Einstein. He was born March 14th, 1879. In 1895, he moved to Switzerland with his parents. And then in 1901, he got his diplomacy and got citizenship. Then he immigrated to America in 1933. Started teaching physics at Princeton. Then he became a U.S. citizen at 1940. He had many studies throughout his life, like the theory of relativity. Now on to Beethoven. Beethoven was thought to be born on December 16th, 1770. Yeah, he was his own case, And Beethoven was a German composer and pianist. He was considered one of the most important figures in all of music. He became deaf in 1819. Despite this, he still composed his greatest work, like Symphony No. 9, and for release. Now we're on to Paul von Hindenburg. Paul was a former German president. How long was he president for? May 12th, 1925. May 12th, 1925 to August 2nd, 1934. Yeah. Why am I bringing him up? Because he brought about the rise of Adolf Hitler. This happened because he legally appointed Hitler as Chancellor of Germany. Why? Because he was in an intense political deadlock. Because of the Nazi Party's electoral strength and persuaded by conservative advisors who believed they could control Hitler. Now we're on to key info. So, economy. Germany is the largest in Europe by nominal GDP. This means nominal GDP is different than GDP because nominal GDP is based on final goods and services produced within a country's given year. So that means Germany sold a lot of vehicles and parts, machinery, chemicals, and energy, raw materials, electronics, all that stuff within the given year to give it the highest in Europe nominal GDP. And then we're on to government. First up, we got the head of government, the chancellor. They hold executive power and set policy guidelines and is elected by the Bundestag. And then the head of state, the president, primarily ceremonial, acting as the guardian of the Constitution by signing laws. Now the legislative bodies. The Bundestag is directly elected, and then the Bundesrat, representing regional states, handle legislation. Then the cabinet, comprised of the chancellor, who I mentioned earlier, and various federal ministers who manage departments independently while adhering to the cabinet's collective decision. Now we got education. From 0 to 6, they got their version, a version of preschool or kindergarten. Then 6 to 10, they got their primary school. Then 10 to 18, they got their secondary school. Now stats. Now for 91 to 95% of people who live in Germany speak German. 41 to 56 speak English, 6% speak French, 3% speak Spanish, 2% speak Russian. Now, we are on to the arts and recreation. First up, we got Fußball, which is soccer. It's Germany's most popular sport, and they're the Bundesliga league. And then handball. It's a sport originated from Germany. Yeah. Now we're on to music, people. We got Kraftwerk. pioneers of electronic music, influencing synthpop, techno, and hip hop. And the Scorpion, an iconic rock band known for hits like Wind of Change. Then the Rammstein, the metal band known for powerful live performances and German lyrics. Then Nina, a key figure in the Neue Deutsche Welle movement, which I butchered that, and which means the German New Wave movement. On to holidays and traditions. First up, we got the Carnival Fasching, which is a celebration with parades, merrymaking, peaking on Shrove Tuesday, which is Pancake Day. It's the final day before Lent, the 40-day fast, which begins on Ash Wednesday, falling 47 days before Easter. It is a day to use up rich foods like eggs, butter, and fats, leading to the tradition of eating pancakes. Yeah, pretty cool. I love pancakes. Oktoberfest. It's a famous beer festival with beer tents, food, and amusement rides. It was made October 12th, 1810, as a celebration to honor Crown Prince Ludwig and Princess Saxe-Hildenburg-Gavestan. And there's
Weihnachtsmärkte,
which means Christmas markets. This is a festival of markets selling crafts, food, and warm drinks called Glühwein throughout Germany. Then there's Nikolaustag, which means Saint Nicholas Day. Kids leave shoes for Saint Nicholas, and Saint Nicholas puts fruits, nuts, and small gifts in the shoes. And then they're known for their past actions during World War II. I will not get into. And then they're also known for their engineering, like BMW, Mercedes, and Volkswagen. Their rich history prior to World War II, like their castles, the Berlin Wall, and their cultural contributions like Bach, Beethoven, and poets. And then their hearty cuisine like beer, sausage, and bread. And then high efficiency, like their high recycling rates, and the Autobahn, which is a 13,000 kilometer long highway with no speed limit. It's recommended that you should go over 130 kilometers an hour. And then there are vibrant festivals like Oktoberfest. First up, we got the medieval period. So you see that? We got the early 1400s. This one is like pretty good. It has one eagle head, so this is going to be like a 4. But this one is 6. It has 2 eagle heads, so it's like better. But it's still a little complex to draw, so that's why it's not a 10 or an 8. Holy War flag of the Holy Roman Empire. This one's kind of bland. So let's do colors. I'm going to have to give this one a 6, but I'll give it a 7 for simplicity. And this one, that's just the flag of Poland, just cut. So, that's just a flag of Poland. So, yeah, so like, they can't do that high. But maybe Poland's inspiration, so I'm going to have to give this a 5, but that's just fair. That's like a 4. Okay, speed up. This one sucks because it's the 4:5 ratio, which is really dumb because it's 3 colors tall, so it makes no sense for it to be 4:5. So this one's a 2. And they keep using the wrong things, so that's why I'm just wrong. This one didn't really have a flag at the time, so I'm just gonna skip over it. Then the German Confederation. This one's the first one to not be a tricolor. No, it's not. No, eagles. This one is pretty cool because it has the wheat. It's pretty cool, and I think I'll give this one maybe a 5. So 5. And this one is okay. I'll give this one a 6 because of the eagle head. No, I'll give this an 8 because of the double eagle head and then the flag. And then this one's pretty bad because this one is first a 2x3, which makes no sense since it's 3 things long. No, this one's just really bad, but the color scheme, And now we're on to this one, the Weimar Republic. This one is also a 2x3, so that's why we're gonna have to give these ones a really low score, like 3, and then a 2, because that's too complicated to draw the little flag. And now we're on to Nazi Germany. This is the first time they've used a 3x5, so I will have to give credit where credit is due since it is pretty tall. So for the 1933 to 1935, the normal flag will get 7, but the war flag will get a 6 since it's the cross. And then the swastika is just, I know that's like a 4, and the war one is like a 3 since it's super complicated. Now to afterward, this isn't even a rectangular flag. This one I'm gonna have to give only like a 4, no. Yeah, like a 4, maybe a 3. This is not good. It's too complicated too, because you wanna know why I also don't like it? Because this flag is also just a 2x3, but it's 5 tall, so it makes no sense for that ratio. So I'm just gonna give this one a 2, a 1. This one deserves a 1. And now we're into divided Germany. These are both 5x3s, but I'm gonna have to give the one in the west a higher score of a 10, rather than the one in the east a lower score of an 8 because of the emblem. Now we're on to proposed designs. The Nordic Cross, I see the division, but all the other ones that have 2 colors are all blue. So I'm gonna have to give this one a pretty low score of like a 5. So yeah, but the Olympic one, I like it. I like the idea. So that one is going to be a 7. Yeah, 7. Then the one with the star. Stars don't look good on the flag, even the American flag. So I'm gonna have to give this one a 5. Then the vertical stripe, that one just looks wrong. So that's just like a 3. Then the diagonally cut, that one's just bad. Man, what can I say? It's not gonna fly off. So that one's gonna have to be like a 2. So the other half will just fly off. Then we have the one with the circle. I see that because that's the emblem of the East flag, with the East Germany flag just cut off. So that's why there's no circle. So that's why I'm gonna have to give that one a 7 because of the idea. Now we're on to modern flags. The modern flag. I see it. I like it. It's a 10 out of 10. It's perfect. And then we got the vertical flags, and the one with the emblem is a little lower. I say the vertical flag's a 9. The emblem's an 8. And you see how I'm talking about like 3 and it's 5 of those stretch across, so it makes it's perfect. Instead of being a 2 and a 3, it makes so much more sense like this.